Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Everybody, how are you guys doing?
Good?
Good?
Yeah, very good. Mhm. Yeah, fine, thanks.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Awesome. So let's begin today's session then. Sit comfortably wherever you are. Keep the back and neck straight. And very gently close your eyes. Just start observing your breathing. Just the natural flow of the breath as you are slowly shift your attention to the body. Just make sure you are correctly aligned. And your body is comfortable and relaxed. Slowly come back to your breathing. And begin to deepen the breath. Slow, long, and deep breaths. Relax your mind. We will chant Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Exhale completely and inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just feel the vibrations. Join both the palms together in front of the chest and rub the palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at the palms, begin to open. Let's start coming back to the smile. And namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's session. So before I begin today's session, when I was teaching you the origin, I wanted to mention this thing, and it just at that point of time, maybe it slipped my mind. So we chant Shanti 3 times. Yes, you have observed, not 1 time, 2 times, no, 3 times, right? So these 3 Shantis are actually for the 3 types of sufferings that I told you about. Okay, so on each and every level, you are basically saying Shanti means peace. Okay, so may there be peace at your physical level, right? So first Shanti, the intention is that. Then at some level which is above and beyond, out of your control, then you are saying may there be peace at that level also, right? And then all the external conflicts that you guys face, which is the game of your own mind, right, causing you that suffering. Third Shanti is for that, right? So when you cue in actually this intention, when you are saying Shanti and you are just saying, okay, may there be peace over here, then over here, then over here. So you automatically feel more of that thing, right? You automatically feel more peaceful and calm, right? So next time when you're chanting the 3 Shantis, so you are now aware what you are actually, why you are saying it. So it will just make you feel more, even though just generally chanting it also does make us, feel very calm and relaxed. But now you guys can connect this more, right? So today we are discussing a very interesting topic, which is Hatha Yoga, right? And you are practicing this is in asana class, and now I will be discussing the theoretical background of this. Hatha, hatha, yeah. It's frozen. Okay, you're back. Okay, awesome. So Hatha Yoga, hatha, right? So this term literally means stubborn. Okay, hatha literally means stubborn, right? And this term can be further divided into two, like words. If you just look at the one thing is the overall meaning I told you, and then I'm splitting the word so that better you can gain more understanding. So her and her, these are the two ways in which etymologically speaking, this is how we derive the meaning. So her and her, right? It is made out of these two words, like these two sounds, right? So both of them have a meaning. Like you guys know that Hatha Yoga is a way, it's basically preparing your body, your mind for allowing you to transition into deeper levels of yoga, right? When we discussed the history and development, we covered this thing, right? Nowadays we are ill. So we need to first, become healthy, right? And then we can think of meditation, right? That is very advanced practice. First, we have to come to a healthy state. So Hatha Yoga is helping you do that. So in your asana classes, pranayam classes, what are you doing? You are doing Hatha Yoga, right? So her part, this one, means, like yesterday also when I was teaching Nadi Shodhan, so I told sun, right? So her is actually representing the sun energy of your body, right? Which is also your right nostril. Yesterday also in Nadi Shodhana class I told you, right? Right nostril is connected with the sun type of energy, right? And in the beginning of the pranayam classes, I told you about three main nadis, three main energy channels in the body, out of which one was the Pingla Nadi, Pingala. So Pingla Nadi is connected with the sun's type of energy. So what is the sun type of energy in the body, right? It is just merely when we are active, right? So sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is connected with the fight, flight response, and just in general, when you are active. So sun, when the sun comes up, we become active, right? Like yesterday I was saying that, the more we are in sync with nature. So you will wake up like when the sun comes up, right? And you will sleep when, the sun sets down, and people used to sleep very early in earlier times, right? So this thing, when the sun comes up, we associate it with the day has started, right? We never say that when the moon has come up. We never say that now the day has started. But when the sun comes up, we say the day has started, right? So all the activeness, all the activities that you have to do, you do during the day, right? So this sun is associated with activeness of the um, human mind of our body, right? So this is the kind, you have this energy inside of you, right? This is one portion of the energy. And then third represents the other side of the energy, right? So third, this term means the moon type of energy, So moon, your left nostril, it's associated with the left nostril. And then the Ida Nadi, Ida Nadi, this one. So I told you before also, this one is connected more with the relaxative state of the mind. So you're not always active, right? You also need relaxation, right? So that is when the parasympathetic nervous system of the body, it becomes active, right? When the body goes into relaxation. So when you guys, take some kind of relaxation, go to sleep. So the parasympathetic nervous system that gets activated. Now you don't need to fight, right? You don't need to fend or defend yourself. So the body can go into relaxation, right? So both these energies are important for us, right? We cannot be active all the time, and we cannot be in relaxation also all the time, even though we get very lazy, right? But we cannot stay that way also. So both the energies are important, and both of them are associated with different activities that we do during the day, right? So parasympathetic nervous system is generally activated when you guys also do meditation, right? So when you guys sit in meditation, you are just coming in an observing stage, right? That is why all of these practices, they help people to deal with stress and anxiety, because they trigger the other system, right? The system associated with the relaxation of the human body, right? And both these energies are important, and both these energies keep changing during the day, right? So there is a totally separate science on the breath. When you come into the field of yoga, you will see there is a completely different school just discussing the breathing, right? And for all of us, this happens that we keep switching, right? So it's said that every 1.5 hour, around 1 to 1.5 hour, around this time span, like within this time span, the one nostril becomes more dominant and the other one is less dominant or not active. Okay, so if right now also you will place your hand like this and just breathe out forcefully. So you will see one nostril is more active, right? You will observe this thing, one nostril, like when you were exhaling out. So one side you were able to feel more air, right? And the other side, it's maybe less. So if you see, so one nostril at each and every point of time is more active than the other one, right? So both of them can be working, but one is more dominant, or only one works, the other does not work. Breathing is still taking place, breathing is not stopping, but the nostrils keep switching, right? So at a particular point of time, if you want to see what your state right now is, so you can just check which nostril is more dominant. If your right one is more dominant, means your activeness at that point of time, your body is saying be active, and then other times your body will say that you are requiring some kind of relaxation, right? So this keeps on switching. So you can also check this about your own self, basically, because this is so easily observable, right? And there is completely like different school of science on this, when which nostril is working, how it is working, all of this is just, I'm just giving you little bit information about it, right? And this is relevant for us. Why? Because Hatha Yoga, now her and her coming together, right? Hatha Yoga is the practice where you balance both of them out, right? So sometimes, how do I, the example just escaped my mind. Okay. So, if one side, if you are being pulled towards one side more, you will never be able to establish balance, right? If I just put all my weight on my right leg, right, I will not be able to balance, right? And then if I put all of my weight on my left, right, then also it's not good for my spine overall, right? But when I'm standing, if my weight is equally balanced on both my feet, then my spine will remain healthy, right? Then if one side you put more weight, your posture also changes that way. You will see this. That is that posture is given a lot of relevance, right? If when you are standing, you are having more weight on one leg, then it will have impact on so many levels, right? So Hatha Yoga is about bringing that balance, right, between the right and the left, the Ida Nadi and the Pingla Nadi. Both of these things, you have to bring a balance between them. That is what you mean when you are saying you're preparing the body, right? Through Hatha Yoga, we are preparing the body, right? What does preparation mean? Preparation means this only, where you are establishing a balance between your mind and your breathing. There is a balance. So, the her part, it represents the pranic energy. And the her part, it represents the mental energy. So you are basically your vital energy and your mind, it is balancing that. When you establish balance on this level, right, then you can work on more things, right? If my body is not okay, then I will never be able to sit for meditation, right? And if I have some kind of mental disorder, the mind is not stable, right? Then also I will not be able to sit for meditation, right? If I do, that's okay. Of course, meditation helps. But that is not the goal of meditation. The goal of meditation is what? You are starting from 0 and you want to reach 10, right? But right now we are at -10. When people who have physical disorders, mental disorders, we are at -10. So when we do meditation, we do asanas, we come to 0. But the actual target was what? Start with 0 and go till 10, right? So you will not be able to advance right? You will not be able to use these practices to advance on a higher journey or on a deeper journey, but you will be at least be able to come to zero, right? So right now meditation is more in a way used like this as a tool. They say meditation is a tool, right? But actually it has like more like potential. Basically the same process has a lot of potential, right? So when you do Hatha Yoga, you prepare yourself for something deeper. You come till zero, you can say, establishing your health, establishing your mind, stability of the mind. This is what you are doing. And this thing you would have seen, so I'll just share my screen. Yes. So, so this Hatha Yoga, this you guys would have seen before also, right? Okay. So this figure you would have seen. Okay. I'm not even able to make the straight line. Wait. Okay. And then this. So don't pay attention to my drawing. Those skills are not very good. But yes, I can give you a basic idea. Okay. So over here, there is a junction, right? Over here. And over here also there is a junction. And over here also there is a junction. Over here actually. Yeah. And over here. Okay, so like this, there are 7 junctions in the body, right? Where your right side, this is right, this is left. Yes. And this is, you can say, central. Okay. So this right side is what the, like I told you, her part, and this is what the her part. Okay, left side, and then this central. So when these 3 nadis, this central nadi is called Sushumna nadi. I will just write it down after I explain this. Okay, this is your central energy channel. Okay, so when the right and the left and the center, these come to a junction point, this is what you call a chakra, right? I will write CH for now, but I will give you the spelling, right? So this is what is actually called a chakra. So you would have heard, root chakra, sacral chakra. These 7 main energy centers are present in your body. So why are they called main energy centers? Because they come out of a junction of the major energy channels in the body. Okay, and the aim is to actually give upward force to the energy, right? Upward force we are going to give to the energy. So when this is more dominant, right, your right side is more dominant. Okay, so energy won't be able to pass through the center. Then if left side is more dominant, again there is no flow of energy over here. Okay, but when these two, they balance out, then the energy begins to flow upwards from here, central, from the central energy point, right? And this is the exact aim of the Hatha Yogi, to reach this stage where these two balance out, right and left, they balance out, and center, the energy is flowing upwards from the center. So I haven't made 7 energy points, so you guys can make these 7. So I've only made 4 over here. So but you can make a straight line and then crisscross these 2 energy channels, right? And 7 chakras are formed like this only. Wait, let me stop sharing. Okay, so straight line, and then you can make one crisscross like this, and then at this side you can make a crisscross like this. I hope all of you got the image. You did not miss out on that. Have it? Okay, awesome. So this thing is what Hatha Yoga is actually doing on energy level. If one side, like I said, if there is imbalance on one side, then central uh, energy channel cannot get activated, right? So central energy channel, this is actually called Sushumna Nadi. SUSHUMNA. So one side you can write Pingla, then one side you can write Ida, and then center you can draw one arrow and write Sushumna. And you can color the junction points and you can write chakra, CHAKRA. Junction point is your chakra. So you would have heard, do this for your root chakra, do this for your heart chakra, so what are they referring to? This energy. So these are actually energy points. Okay, so chakra literally means wheel. So there is this energy, right, which is formed because of the junction of the major energy lines that are going in the body. And where is this located? Okay, so physiologically, if you look at it, where is this located? Along your spine. So when you sit in meditation, or when we sit before chanting I say, keep the back and neck straight. Now you know why everybody, all of your teachers are consistently, telling you keep the back and neck straight, keep the back and neck straight, because this is what the alignment is of the body, right? Natural curves will exist. You cannot have a completely straight spine, right? Because anatomy of the spine is such. There are natural curves, right? But just maintaining the natural curves and trying to sit up straight, that will align you better. That is why I said, in one of the classes, I also mentioned, you don't have to do anything extraordinary. Just sitting straight will make you feel better. Why? Because energy is able to move properly, more freely when you sit straight, right? And this is the reason why it is happening. On a deep, because you guys are doing yoga, I'm telling you from this point of view, but um, generally also you can observe in your life that this is why you feel better. There is no big science behind it. It's just the natural alignment of the body is such. That is why in meditation it is um, generally stressed that the spine should be straight, because you are working on, the yogi aims to uh, change the direction of the flow of energy, right? So now I told you, upward. We are taking that same energy upward, going up. We want that the energy moves up, right? And this upward movement through the central energy channel. Okay, that is the aim. So Hatha Yogi prepares the body so that there is balance between both the sides, so that energy can flow through the central main point, and it does not get activated unless and until the other two sides get balanced. So for us also, this central energy channel, it gets activated during the day. Okay, so when I told you 1 to 1.5 hour around this time, the nostril changes. So one is, if right is dominant, then left becomes dominant after 1.5 hour, right? So when the switch is taking place, then for a few seconds in between, both of them are equally dominant. That is when the central energy channel gets active. Okay, and the yogi aims to prolong this time. Okay, so it is happening for all of us, but the yogi aims to increase this time, and it is because this thing, is happening That is why they say sunrise and sunset are the best timings to practice yoga, because these are the timings when you will see the mind is balanced. When you wake up early in the morning, the mind is very, very balanced. You don't have chaotic thoughts just as you wake up. It takes a while for your mind to, give you those chaotic thoughts. And even during sunset, you will see your mind is quite calm, right? Because the central nadi gets activated at this point of time for us, like for normal people, right? So for us, it's good to practice, do any yogic practices at this point of time, because by default, the nature is supporting you at that point of time. That do this thing, you are ready, right? So, and Hatha Yogi aims to increase this period, this time period. As you practice more and more, you are actually working towards prolonging this time period. Okay, so this is the basic concept of Hatha Yoga, where balance needs to be established between the mind and the breathing, right? These two things, all the Hatha Yogic practices are working on this. When you move your body in Ashtanga, and your Vinyasa flow, your teachers tell you, inhale, exhale, right? So they are bringing something in harmony, right? And same pranayam also, we are doing the same thing. Yes, when we are working on the breathing, all the Hatha Yogic practices, they focus on the breathing and how you are breathing, right? And they focus on bringing a sync between the body movement or your practice. Like if I place my hand in mudra, so you just don't sit in the mudra. Whenever you adopt a mudra, you start observing your breath also. Okay, this is how my breathing is changing. So all the Hatha Yogic practices are actually preparing you for the main practice, where you will be ready to work with the mind, using the mind as an instrument to be free from all of your sufferings. Right? Any doubts so far? Because I gave a lot of information right now. No doubts? Everything is clear? So these terms that I have given you today, okay. Yes. The A, so the yoga, so yoga. Actually, when okay, so let me explain this thing. So from one language to the other, when you translate something, it loses some essence, right? And it is not direct translation. So, so when you are talking of yoga, so in Hindi, in Sanskrit, we say yog, but as we write it in English, it becomes yoga, right? Or hatha. But if you see the Hindi spelling, so it is hut. We say hut you, but hata. In English, we write hata. So for guys, it's easier to understand hata. But if you actually see the original language in which this thing has been transmitted and written, it is hut yog, or chakra, not chakra, right? So actually, this is the term, but because it is uh, changed to another language, right? So this is not the correct way of translating it. So Sanskrit is, when you see the English, direct English conversion of Sanskrit words. So there is this other language called Devanagari, right? There is one language in between, right? I think the mantra that I posted on your WhatsApp group. Wait, let me see. Yes, so if you look at the mantra that I forwarded on your group, this mantra that we chant, right, you will see that in English, when it is written, there is a line above or a dot below, right? The letters, right? You are writing it in English script, but there is some dot, there is some line, right? So that is actually Devanagari, right? The mediator language, you can say. So in that there is particular pronunciation. When the dot is coming on the top of a letter, there is particular way of pronouncing. So actually, if you want to see the Sanskrit term and the translation, then that middle language, the Devanagari language, is the one you have to look for the correct pronunciation. When you translate it in English, then it is like Hatha, right? But when you read the actual, if you want to get the pronunciation right, then go for that language. If you read the mantra, also the English translation, you will see some dots and lines, right? So that language is called actually Devanagari, right? That will give you the correct pronunciation of a word. Yeah.
Thank
Did I
you.
clear? Awesome. Great. Okay. So you guys can definitely read up more about the uh, chakras, but I would say that it will only get your mind stuck, right? Like, so, like Kundalini, right? This term you guys would have heard a lot. 𝐭𝐞𝐫𝐴LINI. Right, so this is also connected to the chakras, the thing that I was teaching you right now. But then the more you read up about these things, your mind will start getting stuck over there. Okay, so however much knowledge I have given right now, that is sufficient, because you have to support it with what? Your practice. I keep telling you, this is how it will feel, this is how it will feel, or this is how bread tastes, this is how bread tastes. Right now I'm doing this in philosophy classes, right? This is the taste of the bread, right? And then you actually eat the bread. So now you know this is the taste of the bread. Okay, so if you keep reading more, it's not bad, but your mind will get stuck. Okay, this is how the taste is, or this is how it looks. I tell you, a bread looks white in color, then it has this, like outside it, there is this brown kind of border, right? So right now I'm doing this thing. Okay, so some people, they read up a lot, so they are doing this thing only. They're trying to understand the image, the taste of something which can only be understood when you experience it or taste it, right? So this much knowledge is sufficient for you guys. Now work on the practices to actually get a flavor of what is discussed in philosophy classes, right? So when it comes to Hatha Yoga, again, there's some text, I keep referring, I keep saying, in pranayam class also, go back, you should have a backing or sourcing, right? So what is that backing and sourcing for you guys, right? So there are some texts, I will mention their names, so you guys can write this down. Your first authentic source of backing for any practice is Hatha Yoga Pradipika. HATHAYOGA, and then PRADIPIK, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. This is the first text that you can rely on, right? A lot of practices are given in this text, right? And if you are ever teaching, then you can definitely fall back on this one. And other one is Gherent Samhita, GHERANDSAMHITA. Okay, so Gherent Samhita and Hatha Yoga Pradipika. These are two authentic texts of Hatha Yoga. Okay, So all the practices, asana, pranayama, mudras, bandhas, these are actually hatha yogic practices. So what comes under hatha yoga is actually, the shat karma. Right. And yeah, mainly you can look at these practices. So your shat karma, SHATKARMA. So cleansing practices. Shat karmas are what? Cleansing practices. So right now, body uh, has a lot of toxins, right? So shat karma practices, they clean the body, right? Like yesterday when we were talking of Nadi Shodhana, so we were talking about cleaning the energy channels, right? So in that same way, when you're working with the physical body, so you need to clean the various pathways, right? So shat karma are actually cleansing practices. Once you clean your body correctly, properly, then you will see that your flexibility, by default, it is getting better. Why? Because right now you're not able to maybe touch your toes, right? Why? Because there are so many toxins that are there in the body, right? They are hampering you. Maybe you are flexible, but the cleansing is not taking place properly, right? So shat karma practices help you to cleanse the body, to prepare it for asana practice. In some places, in some places, shat karma practices are mentioned later on, right? But some places, shat karma is the first thing you do. Then you do something else, right? So first you clean. How would I define the toxins? So, like you are eating your food, right? So when you eat the food, there is some nutritional value that the food has, and then water content, all of this. If you just look at it from just the digestive system, I'm taking an example, right? So you eat the food, right? And then uh, all the required nutrition you have taken from it, right? Then there is some residue that is left, which if remains in the body, it will cause disease, right? So then it is essential that these things, toxins are basically, you can say, like, like a guest who stays in a house for too long causes chaos, right? So toxins are something like that. If something stays in your body for too long and it starts causing harm because it is existing, that is a toxin. So like, mucus, generally it is produced, right? Because mucus helps when you inhale, so the mucus is filtering out some air, right? But it also consistently needs to be cleansed. Your nails consistently need to get cut, right? Ears have to be cleansed, eyes have to be cleansed. Why? Because again and again something is accumulating in the body which is going to cause distress to the body, and this is what causes disease, so more, when you go to certain therapeutic practices, they just sometimes, just make you sweat, right, as a therapy, right? And it actually works. Why? Because the toxin is not getting this thing is not getting a way out of the body, and as soon as you do that thing, the body in itself gets okay, right? So it's very important for you to take these things out, right? So through sweat, excessive salt from the body is also eliminated, right? It works on emotional level also. So when you do shat karma practices, so a lot of shat karma practices help you to uh, deal with mental disorders, right? Because even though you're cleansing the body, all the hatha yogic practices, they work on deeper levels also. So it helps you to eliminate those things also. But this you will only see as you practice more and more. Right. So right now I'm just telling you because you have asked this question. But if you start practicing some shat karma, right? Like just jal neti, right? That is a part of your course, right? Cleaning your nostrils through the use of water. Yes. So saline water. So if you just do that, you will see you feel very calm and you feel very peaceful. But you have to do it regularly, right? So on that level also, it begins to work, right? It shows that kind of depth. All your yogic practices will show you that kind of depth. Asana is not only about moving the body. Your mind also, you gain some flexibility of the mind also when you do asana. It's not just your body that is gaining flexibility. But again, it is how deeply you experience it rather than just doing that practice, right? So most people, they just copy the postures because it's easy to copy the postures. But there comes a point in your practice where your body understands that point of balance for you, right? So at that point of time, not copy, you are attaining there is no effort, it's effortless, right? You just understand yourself now. We will develop strength, ability. You really practice now the way you're supposed to practice. You will see it's working on very deep levels. But we don't have the time and world is fast moving, so we cannot give it that kind of attention. But you can change. Told you will do, but your intention will change. So you can show up on your mat with a different intention. That I don't want to stand on my head, but I will work on my body in such a way that it happens automatically. It's nothing unusual for my body, right? If my body is clean, right? There's so many movements that you will be able to do just merely because of that. As you work on the cleansing, you will realize this more and more, right? Any other doubt that I can address? Awesome, great. Uh, so yeah, our time is almost up. So this is overall what Hatha Yoga is for you guys. So next time when you show up on your mat, and next time when you come for your pranayam classes even, or any other class that you do, all the practices that I've mentioned, when you do those, just know that it is just a stepping stone to something else. So what people do is people get stuck. Now you want to achieve full split, right? People just want to stand on their head. So they get stuck over there only. They think that that is what the practice is all about. They don't understand it is actually a stepping stone to something else. So when you start looking at Hatha Yoga practices in that way, again, you suspend expectation and you allow your body to be, right? And you will see asanas are generally, we are copying the nature, crow pose, yes, then cobra pose, right? Then downward facing dog. All the poses are actually whatever yogis observed in the nature around them. Tree pose, yes. So they observed the way in which something was and they tried to, see if they make their body that way, what is the impact, right? How would the crow feel, right? When you do the crow pose, now you know how the crow feels, right? Tortoise pose. Okay, this is how the tortoise lives, this is how the tortoise is. So actually, again, coming more in sync with nature. Again, all the yogic practices you will see, asana is all about trying to move your body in a way in which the nature is, or animals and trees around you are. Then pranayama is all about trying to copy their breathing pattern, right? If they breathe slowly, then they have long life, right? I told you in the beginning of class also. So we're just trying to copy nature only to get more in sync with it. And it is very important for you to not get stuck over here, right? because you have been given a higher thinking ability. No animal will think, what is the purpose of my life? Yes, they just exist as the nature is. They cannot break that cycle. They are bound to follow that cycle. Even if you, like yesterday, you guys are telling me about your pets, no? So you will see, like when you have pets, so they have their own cycle. They sleep at a particular point of time, then all of their activities, and they don't break out of their routine, right? Because nature is guiding their routine. Human beings, we have a choice to come out of this cycle. We have the ability to comprehend this thing, that okay, maybe I'm here for some purpose, or maybe my life is more than just this, more than just doing a job. So don't um, lose this thing when you are doing hatha yoga practices. Most people have lost this thing. Most people, when they practice hatha yoga, they just want to achieve more and more asanas. They have made it like the corporate world, right? Achieving more and more targets. And when you practice yoga, you are getting free of these bondages, not trying to bind yourself more and more. Next month I will achieve handstand, then I will stand on my finger, then I will stand on my elbow. They are stuck. It is madness, right? If you wanted to gain that flexibility, you would not have come in yoga. You would have gone and done gymnastics. You would have gone and you would have done some dancing, right? It's so fun to dance. Why would you come over here? You are looking for something deeper. So don't, when you show up on the mat, don't restrict your practices just to flexibility or just to jumping around. Yoga is so different from all of this. It is so far away from all of this. And it has so much more potential. I told you, it has the potential to free you from all your sufferings. So why aim for less? Now you have chosen a practice which can give you more. So go for it. Right now, people are obsessed with asanas. Right? I wish my body could do this. And when you're not able to, oh, oh, I just stopped. Can you hear me now? Okay. Now, okay. Okay. So yeah. So when you uh, just get stuck over there, you make a competition out of it, or you just want to show off, right? You're not doing asanas to show off. You're doing asanas for yourself, right? So just keep this thing in mind next time you go for your practice, right? Any doubts in anything? No doubts? Great. So let's end today's session. Just one moment, three shantis. We have already crossed the time. Just sit comfortably, keeping the back and neck straight. Close your eyes and inhale for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Join the palms together in front of the chest. Let's just bow down and begin our day with a sense of gratitude. Rub your palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes. Start coming back with a smile. Am I back? Okay. Yeah. So bye bye. Take care. See you all in the afternoon.